morning, traders. What's going on? Happy Thursday inside of chat and over on YouTube and here on TikTok. Q-Tip, what's going on? So, YouTube is up. All right, YouTube's up. We have a lot to talk about today. So, I don't want to limit it to 30 minutes. I want to start diving into this right now. We have a lot of potentially really good setups for swing trades presenting themselves. So, we have a lot to talk about in regards to swing trades. Some, behind the scene back burner setups that could definitely start moving, and then some fresh stocks today as well. Yo, Q-Tip, CD Hunter. Hey, there we go. Crushed it on BBIG. Got in at 704. That's what it's about. My goodness. I know a lot of people were getting in off that $6 level from Tuesday, and some were holding that overnight. I know a newer teammate in chat, he took some BBIG calls, swung them overnight off that $6 support. I think he locked in like $1,500, which is absolutely insane. So congratulations to everybody that was in the stream on Tuesday that heard that we were looking at the $6 support. Once we regained it, that was a solid entry, low risk, and that stock absolutely just ripped and ran. Ripped and ran. It only took a day, 100%. And I actually think someone got 100% out of it. Almost 100%. And I was like, what? That's crazy. Joel, yes, he is. Brand new member inside of chat. Joel, how you liking chat so far, my man? Ed, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Ed, the man, the myth, the legend, Ed. What's going on? Joel's loving it. Well, we love having you a part of the team, Joel. We love it. Today's going to be an awesome day, guys. Today's going to be an awesome day. So, right now, if you guys want to tune in, we're going to be focused inside of chat this morning. We're going to be focused over on YouTube. Again, I can't focus on 3 different comment sections at a time. I'm not that good. 2 at the most. So, again, join us over on YouTube. We're going to start talking about all of these setups. All right? A lot of stuff that I see right now, potentially some really nice swing trades coming about. Some prior day back burner setups that could definitely start ripping and running. And then talking about what we have going on today that's fresh. All right. So again, I have like 20 things to talk to you guys about today. 20 different stocks. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. But there's a lot. All right. So YouTube, Alpha Day Trading. All right. And let's go ahead and start diving into it. It's about 8:11. I want to give us a good 45, 50 minutes to get this going, guys. So, we're going to start with our swing trade watch list. All right, we're going to start with our swing trade watch list. So, the number one stock on my swing trade watch list is VLDR. All right, that's VLDR. So, VLDR, the one thing that I like about this is it does meet my criteria for a good swing trade. Number one, the stock has been previously overbought. Right? And we see the stock getting completely beaten down, slammed down from overbought to oversold. Number one, so we meet that criteria. This stock at one point was around $32. Right now it's trading at $6.73. Right? So criteria number one. Criteria number two is waiting for the stock to find a level of support and consolidate sideways and start to slightly reverse out of its downtrend. Number two, right? We're starting to see some consolidation. We're starting to look like we're putting in a little bit of a higher low, looking like we could possibly regain that 20 EMA and start grinding to the upside. Number three, we are coming out of oversold territories. We're starting to see a little bit of buying momentum move into the stock. And number five, we have a very nice daily technical setup. What are we seeing here on the chart, on the daily with VLDR, guys? We have a big falling wedge formation that is being absolutely honored to a T, right? So not only do we have all of that other criteria that we just talked about, all right, we have a really nice falling wedge pattern on the daily. Falling wedges are considered to be bullish. So they're 80-20 setups. 80% of the time, they break to the upside, you start a new uptrend. 20% of the time, they crack, they fail, they fall, and you get stopped out. The beautiful thing about this is our stop would be at like $6, $5.95, right? So at worst case scenario, you're going to risk $1 per share on VLDR. So it's low risk. And we have good potential to get to the 200 SMA, which is at $14. That's 100% or $7 per share. So right off the bat, one of our main targets is $7 away. We're risking about $1. That's a 7-to-1 setup with potential of 100% with very minimal risk, about 15% of risk, which is not bad at all. So I like VLDR a lot. What I'm looking for is for this stock to break the downtrend, break outside of this wedge, and I want to see some volume move in. Once we see that, I'm going to start scaling into this trade. I'm going to start scaling in. Who knows? I may scale in today, maybe just throw 5% at it just to get in a little early, right? But once we really start seeing that volume, breaking above the 20 EMA, breaking outside of this wedge formation, I'm ready. I'm ready to scale in. We have a lot of upside potential. Let's talk about areas that we want to start trimming some profits, right? Our top target is going to be that 200 SMA, right? That's where we want to have a majority of our position sold, but we need to take profits and scale out along the leg up. So let's go ahead and talk about where we should be doing that, all right? We should be doing it at every level of prior resistance and prior support, right? So right here, we can see right around 750 is some prior resistance and some prior support. That might be a good area to trim a little bit, right? Or at least be mindful of that level to see if we can get above and hold it, and then we're good for the next target. Where's the next level going to be? Right up at the 50 SMA, around $8.41, which is also prior resistance on VLDR. So there's another level to consider taking profit. Other than that, you have $9. Then you have $10. Then you have $11. It's actually pretty easy. Seems like every dollar is a good level to lock in a little bit of cheddar, right? All the way up towards around 13, and then wabam, 200-day moving average. So it's actually really easy. One of your first targets, once this gets over 750, you're looking at like $8.39, $9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, it's actually really easy. It's about every single dollar is a level that we should be looking to trim a little bit of profit all the way to our final target of 1473. Once again, meeting so much criteria, right? Getting beaten down from overbought to oversold. Seeing some buying momentum move in with the RSI. Popping out of oversold territories. Consolidating. Trying to put in a higher low on the daily chart. Attempting to break out of this falling wedge. Overall, you got so many separate reasons. This is a great swing trade. Low risk, under $6. High reward with potential all the way to $14 here on VLDR. All right, so I really like VLDR, and I'm keeping this one on high watch, guys. All right, next. We had PSFE. Someone talked to me about PSFE the other day. I said, you know what? I like it. I'd start scaling in. It popped, right? It already popped. It was around, I think it was around like 830, 840 when you guys were talking about it a few days ago. And I'm like, you know what? It's actually not bad. Gap down, putting in that higher low. It definitely could get a nice push back up to 9. It hit 905 yesterday. So I still want to keep this one on watch because it does have potential to fill the daily gap. Right? We had a gap down off earnings. The gap is up towards around 1018. So, I mean, we still do have some potential, especially if this one could re-break and hold above $9. So I want you guys keeping this one on watch. Add it as a back burner, okay? Add it as a back burner. So what I want you to do is keep this on watch over $9, okay? Over $9, I think we have some potential to fill the gap. Your first level of resistance that you would want to take some profit would be right around like 950. And then if we break over that level from where we gapped down, where we opened off the gap and then closed lower, right? That level is like 950. We break over that level, we have some room up towards around the 50 SMA and underneath those daily lows right around 1018. So again, this is a decent little setup. Again, breaking over 9, holding 9, looking for an entry off some market support around 9. Stops would be maybe 25 cents. Our first target's 50 cents. Our next target's $1 away. So first target's a 2-to-1. Second target's a 4-to-1. So overall, it does meet that minimum requirement of being at least a 2-to-1 setup. And it is a decent little swing trade, and it could actually play out intraday, and it could be a good little day trade, right? It's going to be a very short-term swing trade, maybe a few days. But if it's strong enough, it may hit those levels in a single day, okay? So PSFE, another one that I want you guys keeping on watch. Now we're going to start talking about my favorite ones. My favorite ones. I love moving average squeezes on the daily chart. I absolutely love them, right? I love them. High reward, low risk. GRAY, a swing trade I took earlier this year, right? GRAY. A nice moving average squeeze formation on the daily chart. I was making my entries right there above $4 with stops below 4. This stock ripped all the way to $7. That's $3 a share. We almost capitalized on the full move. I was taking profits at 6 and 650. But again, risking 30 cents on the trade to make over $3 of profit. It was a great high reward, low risk, 80-20 swing trade setup. I love these setups. Another one, SUNW, I took last year. So if we go look at SUNW, right there. Moving average squeeze formation and a break of $1. So this one had a couple separate reasons to get involved with SUNW. This stock ran 80% off the swing trade. So again, I love these moving average squeezes. So now we're going to talk about some upcoming stocks that have the potential to squeeze and rip and break to the upside for a very nice high reward, low risk swing trade setup and high probabilities as well. So we have LEDS, right? LEDS. Look at this stock. This is absolutely amazing. This is my favorite looking chart. LEDS, former runner, hitting highs of $30, extremely overbought, getting absolutely beaten down into oversold conditions. Look at that RSI. RSI is getting a lot of buying momentum. Look at the reversal formation that we have on the daily as well, right? You can see the low, the lower low, and the higher low. And you can see that that lower low was formed right above the 200 SMA support. We just put in that higher low. If you look at it as like a inverse head and shoulders formation, right? You have your left shoulder, you have your head, and you have your little bit of a right shoulder. And the right shoulder forms support back above the left shoulder, which is what we want to see, and above the 20 EMA. Now we have the 50 SMA holding this stock down as resistance. So with that being said, if we continue to consolidate between the 20 EMA and the 50 SMA and get tighter and tighter and tighter, I would expect to see this break, push, rip, and squeeze out of this formation. Again, very nice low risk, good reward. How high could LEDS go? Well, let's look at the chart, right? Let's go ahead and look at it. Well, the first level that I see is going to be up towards around 1185 is a great level to start thinking about trimming some profits, right? Then you're looking up towards around that high, right around 1348. That's where it gets exciting. That's where it gets fun. That's when we have room all the way to $15 and then potentially all the way up towards around 1668. Now, one other thing we can do as well is we can run a fib off this level to get an idea of where those fib targets could be, right? So let's go ahead and take a fib from the high to the low, draw it back up to the high, or you just drag a normal fib, right? And we can see here that that 1185 level that we had drawn up is very close to that 78.6 fib. So that's going to be a great level, right? Look at our 1668 level. That is very close to the 61.8 fib. And then we could potentially see this all the way up at a 50% retracement, right? Stocks don't just rip to the upside, right? Stocks don't just rip to the upside and then pull back. Stocks will crack to the downside and then pull back up, right? So still, it's a pull back, but it's just pushing to the upside off a big leg down. So again, we could see that typical 50% retracement back to the upside. And that puts you all the way up towards around $20 there on LEDS. I like LEDS a lot. I think LEDS has a lot of potential, guys. So LEDS, if we get confirmation and it squeezes, I'm looking to get involved with LEDS for a swing trade. How would I place my stops on this? To start, I would get my stops underneath that low, right? We popped up off a lower low, put in a higher low, and confirmed a higher high. My stops right now would be right around $8. So I have to say, okay, $10, I'm risking $2. Can I get at least 4, right? Well, we do have room to 14, 15, 16, maybe even 20. So looking at the big picture, there is potential for a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, potentially even a 4-to-1 setup here on LEDS. Now, first target is a 1-to-1. First target's $2 away. The stop loss is $2 away. But the simple fact that this is a high probability squeeze setup, it's a former runner, right? We have a great technical setup as well as that squeeze formation and all the other criteria is being met. I think LEDS is a high probability setup. So even though the first target puts it at a 1-to-1, I'm still confident enough that we'll break that 1-to-1 and hit 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, and maybe even exceed those levels because LEDS has a lot of potential behind it. So LEDS, moving average squeeze formation. I'm really looking forward. Is the chat not working on YouTube today, guys? Is the chat not working today, guys? It's working on the pop out. Sorry about that, guys. Denise, Cream Pie, Kyle, Gonzo. What's up? For some reason, it wasn't showing unless I pop out the chat for YouTube. That's odd. Okay. So I will keep it popped out so I can see what you guys are talking about. So where am I going to put it? I have no real estate left. I have no real estate. I have nowhere to put it. That is so weird that it's not popping up there. Anyway, LADS. I really like this one. This is probably one of my top swing trade setups that I'm keeping on watch. ATER is another one, right? This stock meeting the same criteria. This stock has been very high before, $48. Getting absolutely beaten down from oversold territories, right? Overbought, from overbought to oversold. In a massive downtrend. We're waiting for this stock to go from overbought to oversold, form some support, see some volume move back in, regain the 20 EMA, and then we have some potential. What just happened with ATER? We hit oversold conditions. We bounced right back above the 20 EMA. We have a lot of volume moving back into the stock. For the longest time, no volume, no volume, no volume. And then boom, lots of volume on this play, lots of volume on the stock. So what I like about this is we had our first initial leg up rejected off the 50 SMA. We pulled back and held the 20 EMA beautifully, which tells me traders are here respecting the technicals. Healthy pullback. Those 2 red days were on less selling volume. And then yesterday we had a nice bounce on heavy buying volume, about 46 million shares on ATER. We have high relative volume. We have healthy technicals. We have healthy volume. Everything looks phenomenal. And guess what? It's also setting up for a possible moving average squeeze formation. This stock is holding above the 20 EMA as support, getting held down by the 50, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. What we're looking for is this stock to break above the 50 SMA right around $9, right around $9. That's where this is going to get going. So on ATER, how high could this go? So our first target would be right around $11.77 on ATER, right around $11.77. Then we're looking up towards around $15. I would actually say like $14.90. And then your final target is going to be the 200 SMA. So looking at this, right now the stock's at $7.40. We have room to $11.77, $14.90, and $19.43. That's a great opportunity. But let's talk about the risk. The risk has to be below the 20 EMA. So your stop loss would have to be somewhere around the low $5 area. So with that being said, if you were to buy right now, you would have to risk $2.50 a share. Can you get at least $5? Absolutely. Because $5 from $7.50 would be what? Is it $13.50? Is my math right today? From 7 plus 5 is 12, so it'd be $12.50. Do we have room to $12.50? Well, our first target's $11.77, so it's really close. It's not quite a 2-to-1, but it's not a 1-to-1. It's right there in the middle. Second target is going to be right around $15. That's $7.50 to the upside, right? That's 100%. That's a 100% return on the stock. If it does get up towards around 15, that's a second target, and then potentially up towards around $19, right? So let's go ahead and, factor what that is. If we made an entry today and our stops were right around, $5, that's a risk of 30%. Seems like a lot, but you have to tailor your size accordingly, right? To make sure that you're not taking too much of a loss. But look at one of your targets. It's 100% away. Your final target is 159% away. So yeah, 30% risk seems like a lot, but when you look at the risk to reward, you can see that your first target is 60% away and your stop loss is 30%. So you have a 2-to-1 to get to your first target at 60%. Then you have 100% at $15 and then 160 at the 200 SMA. So right off the bat, first target, guys, is a 2-to-1. Then you have a solid 4-to-1 and then a potential 6-to-1 setup on ATER. So again, man, 30% is a lot. So that's how you factor your size. So again, 30%, if you wanted to risk no more than say $300 on this trade, you can only invest $1,000. So you would take $1,000 and factor how many shares you can buy. And based on that loss of $5, you would risk about $300 on your $1,000 investment. But if we hit that target, you're looking at a $600 first target reward, right? If you lock it in or scale, then you're looking at potentially 100% on the trade, right? That's $1,000. So again, it's a great 2-to-1, 3-to-1 setup, and potentially even getting all the way midterm, all the way back up to that 200 SMA. So I like ATER a lot. I think this may have a couple more days of consolidation to get more confirmation and some validation that this is really going to set on up. All right, so ATER, definitely keeping this one on watch for a swing trade as well. I like it. SKLZ, it's a back burner swing trade. It's a back burner swing trade. Again, it's meeting some of that criteria from being extremely overbought to very oversold. We just put in market structure off $10 on the daily chart. We regained $12.13 support. That's a key level. I want to watch SKLZ in the coming week to see if it stays above 12. If this stock can continue to stay above 12 and consolidate, and you see that 20 curling on up, you see that 50 coming on down, getting tighter and tighter and tighter, this is another really great moving average squeeze formation. And where's your first target on this? Up towards around $18 over on SKLZ, right underneath those daily lows, some daily support. That's going to be considered resistance, right around 18 bucks. So again, I like the low risk, high reward potential that this one has. If this one continues to consolidate and squeeze, you're thinking of maybe a $13 entry, right? With an $18 target. That's going to put you at $5, and your risk on this would be below 12. So your risk maybe $1 to $1.50 with $5 of upside potential on SKLZ. All right. So again, these are all high reward, low risk trades. Not every single one's going to work out. That's why we diversify. I see all of these setting up. I see all of these with potential. If they all set up and give me confirmation to go long, I'm not going to pick and choose which one I want to buy. I'm going to go in all of them. Every single one. I'm going to diversify because ATR may stop me out, but LEDS could rip, right? SKLZ may not work out, but ATER and LEDS may rip and hit targets. So I'm not going to pick and choose. I'm going to swing every single one of them. I'm just going to diversify against them all and see which ones work. The ones that don't, I get stopped out, but the ones that do work, fantastic. I'm in the green. I'm making profit. The last thing I want to do is say, you know what? Let's just put it all in on LEDS and LEDS not work, but then you're like, fuck, ATR ripped, SKLZ ripped. Man, that sucks, right? Again, it's a swing trade watch list. If I have $5,000 and I have 5 stocks that I'm looking at, I'm going to go 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, right? If I have 10 grand, I'm going to go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So I'm going to diversify what I have into these swing trades. And again, 50% win rate, worst case scenario, let's say you have 6, 3 work, 3 don't. Well, they're all really high reward, low risk. So at the end of the day, you're still going to walk away very profitable if you do it the right way. Moving on. Wish. I know you guys are like, wish. Wish isn't one of those setups. Wish is not a nice moving average squeeze formation. Wish is a gap fill, right? So again, we know when stocks gap up, they like to pull back and fill the gap before making their next leg up. We saw that with CRM. We saw that with Microsoft. We traded both of those. We absolutely crushed it on both of those options. Same thing. The stock gaps down. The stock likes to fill the gap before potentially making its next leg down. So what I'm looking at here on Wish is a potential swing/day trade, right? A swing/day trade. It could definitely hit targets in a day, but if not, it may be a 1 to 2 day swing trade to see it continue to grind there in after hours and in a pre-market. So what I'm looking at here on WISH is for this stock to get back above 783, which was the gap down spiking high, which was also prior support. We have room to fill the gap all the way to 936. Now, you may have some resistance right there underneath those lows at 882, but over 882 to fill the gap is $9.36. So I'm waiting for this to get above 783, show me that this is support now. Look to take it long for about $1 first target and then $1.50 second target. So right there, I'm looking at $1 minimum. What would my risk be? My risk would be right back below that 783, so maybe below $7.50, about a 40-cent loss. Right there's a 3-to-1 setup on WISH. Again, it could be a multi-day swing trade, but honestly, if we get that break, we may see that rip and run intraday, and it could be a very good back burner sleeper play for a day trade. All right, so WISH, again, we're looking for the break over the gap down, spiking high to fill that gap before potentially making its next leg down. And we do have room up into the low $9 area. All right, so that's WISH. So again, BLDR, keeping this one on high watch. LEDS, moving average squeeze formation. ATER, moving average squeeze, right? SKLZ, potentially setting up for a moving average squeeze. And then WISH for a nice gap fill trade, all right? Then for today, all right, today, some back burner stocks that we're watching, all right? We already know we're watching BBIG. Guys, I want BBIG at 8. Just like I told you guys from Monday into Tuesday, I want it at 6. Everybody's like, is it really going to make it down to 6? I'm like, I don't know, but if it does, that's where I want it. It came down to 6. We got it. We locked in huge profits. Same thing today. BBIG, I want it around $7.90 to $8. Is it going to get there? I don't know. But if it does, let's go. So I'm watching BBIG today to fade, to fall, to come down to 8, show market structure around $8 like we saw market structure form around 6, and then look for the next leg up for a possible Friday squeeze, right? We know that Fridays are typical days for short squeezes, right? So BBIG is already the talk of the town for the short squeeze, and then Friday's already known for seeing more action with these short squeeze plays. So with that being said, today's Thursday. If this stock comes down this, 8 levels, right? And we start to see some action this evening, maybe like we saw Tuesday, and we see it hold its gains there tonight into tomorrow, we could see some really nice action on BBIG tomorrow based on that short squeeze idea for Fridays, right? So again, BBIG down towards around 8. If we hold, if we have market structure, if we're looking good, I'm definitely thinking about picking some of this up for a little bit of a swing trade into tomorrow, looking for the stock to go bananas. Not saying it's going to go bananas, but I'm saying if we get it to set up properly and we're making entries, low risk, high reward, we could see this stock breaking over yesterday's highs and ripping into new all-time highs on BBIG. ELYS, possible mid-candle breakout. And I say possible, I always say possible. Nothing's ever guaranteed, but it's not the ideal mid-candle breakout setup. Usually we see the red, that second day as a red day, a small red day right in the middle of the green day. We actually have a little bit of a, call it a spinning top doji right there on ELYS. So it's not the ideal mid-candle breakout, but it meets criteria for a mid-candle breakout. Big green day, followed by a gap down, consolidation day, and then followed by a slight gap down with a rip to the upside. Right now, it looks like we may slightly gap down just a little bit. And what we're looking for is this stock to break over yesterday's close, yesterday's highs. Then we're looking for a rip into Tuesday's close, and then Tuesday's highs of 675. And then normally this is a blow-off top setup, right? You blow off the prior top, and you rip and run higher. It's a continuation pattern. So we're looking at ELYS for a possible mid-candle breakout formation today. We already talked about SKLZ. FCUV was a pretty random hype stock yesterday that ripped from around 5, hitting highs of 31 in pre-market, coming all the way back down below $20. So we'll keep it on watch as a back burner. But right now, since we cracked below 25 and we're struggling around 20, I do not know if FCUV is going to really get a lot of attention today. But we'll keep it on watch, right? It's on the watch list. We'll keep it on watch. SLI was our go-to swing trade from last night. SLI was our go-to possible swing trade, action in after hours, action in pre-market, room to 7, and it hit $7.03. Actually hit $7.17, but it was very low liquidity, very light volume. So again, but it is gapping up about 25 cents right now on SLI. So SLI wasn't bad. I do want to keep SLI on watch because we had a really strong day yesterday. We had about 4 million shares, big green day off of the 50 SMA, closing above the 20 EMA and back above 633 resistance. Now it's support. So I think SLI is definitely worth keeping on watch to see if this continues to grab some attention, some volume, and to see if there's still some momentum here to continue pushing this stock to the upside. We have room to 750. We have room to 831 here on SLI, and that's a little bit of a back burner play, guys. All right. TKAT. I want to keep this one on watch as well. I told you guys I'm not touching TKAT until this mother trucker holds and breaks above the 200 SMA, right? Last week, it tried 3 separate times. This week, right on Tuesday, it tried again. It failed. Yesterday, for the first time, the stock closed above the 200 SMA. So this is a key stock to watch because, TKAT has room to 14.55. It has room to 17.38 and then room up towards around $20. Again, very low risk. The stock coming back down below the 200 EMA or SMA, the 200 SMA closing below, that solidifies get the hell out. So it's very low risk because the 200 SMA is like 50 cents away, right? Actually, no, it's $1 away. I'm sorry, we are gapping up. I was looking at the daily chart. I'm like, what? It's not 50 cents. I'm like, no, it's $1. So first day above the 200 SMA, we could see the stock open and rip and just go, right? Because that shows strength from yesterday's close. Or we see a retest day, right? So it's 50-50. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I can't predict the market, right? You can get an edge on the market and have high probabilities, but you're never 100% right. So that being said, it's 50-50. It could open and squeeze, and if it does and starts breaking 14.55, I know we have room to 17.38, and I'm looking to get involved on TKAT. It still has a lot of potential, right? But if it's a retest day, I want to see this one holding above the 200 SMA off a retest, and then we see the follow through tomorrow for that next leg up, right? So right now, I'm watching TKAT. I'm looking to see what it does when we open. Is it going to pull back and retest the 200 SMA and start squeezing? Is it going to consolidate today and just have a nice, healthy pullback retest day? Or is it going to just open and rip? Either way, I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. I know my levels, and I know exactly what I'm looking at on TKAT. And if we get it set up, I'm looking to make an entry because I like TKAT, and I think it has some good potential. All right? So that's TKAT. And then last but not least, another back burner play is going to be SGOC. SGOC going from very overbought to oversold, regaining the 20 EMA, regaining the 50 SMA, and we actually see the 50 and the 20 in correlation with one another, right? So you have your longer term moving average and you have your shorter term EMA, all correlating, pointing to the upside. That does show some strength, guys. We have a nice little uptrend. We have a pop, a little bit of a pullback. A pop, a little bit of a pullback. If we know anything about legs up, we know the third leg up is typically the strongest. So we get our first leg up, we get a pullback. We get our second leg up, we get a pullback. If we know anything about stocks, that third leg up is typically the most strongest, and this one has a lot of volume behind it as well. The chart looks great. Pop, pull. Pop up, pull back. Holding above the 50 SMA and holding above the 20 EMA, holding above that prior spiking high as well. This looks really good. I think SGOC still has a lot of potential behind it. So, with that being said, I want to see SGOC above 925 today. If this stock breaks and holds 925, we have room to $10. We have room to 11, and then 12, and then 12.50. It's very easy, every dollar. So breaking and holding above 925, we have room to 10, we have room to 11, we have room to 12, and like I said, if we know anything about stocks, that third leg, the typical final leg before it starts a little bit of a reversal, you see more sellers move in, is typically the strongest. And with that being said, it wouldn't surprise me to see this up towards around 13 bucks. To break over Monday's spiking high and to see this up towards around 12, 13 bucks. So I'm watching SGOC today, not only for a day trade, but to see if it holds its gains and see if it's still strong, possibly for a swing trade overnight here on SGOC. So I like SGOC. I want to keep this one on high watch today, guys, right? Because today would be that possible third leg to the upside, and that third leg being the strongest leg up, all right? And then stocks with fresh news today, all right? So again, we were talking about swing trades, talking about prior movers, talking about other stocks that I'm watching that may not have any fresh news and fresh reasonings to be moving today. We have a lot of stocks with news today, guys. I mean, we do have a lot, right? So if you go into alerts, we have PSTV. We have APDN, METX, ADMP, RGC, CLSN, NKLA. We have a lot of stocks with news, but out of every single stock with news, these are the stocks that have the most attention, the most activity, with the best opportunity. Again, we're trying to eliminate the noise. So we have PSTV. They announced commercial manufacturing supply agreement for its lead investigational drug. So we got PSTV with news. PSTV is a low flow stock. It's 11 million and it's trading great volume. It's currently up 23%. Right now, it is number 2 on the leaderboard. So we're going to be watching PSTV. Here at 9 o'clock when we officially go live, we'll dive into those technicals, guys. IPHA is another stock that is currently up 49%. But here's the thing. The news sucks. The news sucks. It really does. They're going to present at a virtual congress. It's nothing hot. It's nothing great, right? It is up 49%. It's trading 2.7 million shares. So on average, it trades 19,000 shares. Nothing. It's a medium float stock. It definitely could move. But again, the news isn't all that great. And you see it go from 5 to 12 and then just go all the way back down to the low. So it doesn't look great right now. But it should be put on your watch list as a like back burner sleeper play. Maybe consider it to be like a FCUV, right? Maybe like an FCUV where the stock's not doing shit. It popped up, gave everything back, and then it just ripped to the upside there intraday, right? Maybe think about IPHA maybe being something like, FCUV, IPHA, where again, it pops up in pre-market, gives everything back, not looking good, not looking great. But again, it's the number one leader on the upgapper list, so traders may come back to it, and this could be a stock that just completely takes on off. I mean, it does have very low liquidity, very low volume, and again, that's what we kind of saw with FCUV, and that stock absolutely tore to the upside. So, not saying it's going to, I'm just saying it's worth keeping on watch, and if we start to see some volume move in, it could take on off, right? It could take on off. So, we're going to watch that as a back burner, guys. CHPT. CHPT. They had news. I can't find it. Let's go look. Why charge point shares are trading higher? They reported better than expected Q2 earnings. So we have earnings on CHPT. Definitely worth watching. It is currently gapping up right now about 16%. It's a larger float stock though. That's the only problem. It's over 100 million. It's a $25 stock. It may take a little bit to get this going, right? Just because again, intraday, that float really matters. It's a larger price stock as well. So it's going to take more capital, right? More people and more capital to buy the shares to really like start rotating that float and to really start to see this take on off. So again, we don't have a shit ton of volume. That's the only problem. On average, you trade 6 million shares, right? Today in pre-market, we're only trading 1.5. So we don't really have the volume, which tells me that we don't really have the attention to really start getting this going. And it's a very large float stock and it's a large price. It could move, but I don't expect it to rip $1, $2, $3, $4, at a time. I don't expect it to really move quickly over on CHPT. So again, it's worth just being mindful of. But like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it, and I think we have better opportunity, right? And again, with fresh stocks today, there's not a lot, guys. Really, the number one stock that I'm watching is PSTV at this point in time. But again, we may have a 9 o'clock press release come out, and if there's not a lot of hot news today, and not a lot of hot opportunity, fresh opportunity today, what are traders' mindsets? Let's resort back to prior day movers. Let's go look at stocks that have been moving this week, and let's go trade those. So if we don't see any of these plays really do anything, then we'll probably see traders just resort back to some of the other those prior day movers. Like TLSA, I'm not a fan of TLSA. I've traded TLSA in the past. TLSA is one of those stocks that likes to dump and give a lot back, right? TLSA has never been a friend of mine in the market. Never been a stock that I've liked to trade. It's moved in the past, but again, it's just a weird stock. I remember trading this, last year, and it's just a very odd stock, guys. And right now, it's not doing anything anyway, right? And then GSAT is a very large float stock. GSAT was a stock that we were trading. Was it Monday? Was it my Money Monday trade? It was my Money Monday trade off the wedge break for the leg up to 240, 260. This stock right now getting a little bit of action. And Global Star, GSAT, 8K shows received added advance payments of $37 million from a customer. A company to use proceeds to repay portion of outstanding amount under first lien credit facility. So it's an 8K filing, and it shows that a customer made an advance payment of $37.5 million. So we do have GSAT moving, but keep in mind, GSAT is a very slow and steady mover. But it was a go-to there on Monday for the small account because it was a very slow, steady mover, easy to manage. It took 4 hours, 3 hours, but it was a profitable trade. It was like $160 on the small account. So I do want to watch GSAT, right? GSAT was a prior mover this week. GSAT just dropped another press release, and GSAT is getting some action towards it. I already know the levels, right? I was looking at this one on Monday, on Tuesday, right? The levels are still going to be the same. We have room to 216. Over 216, we have room to 240. And over 240, we have room to 265. Where's support right now? Well, I would actually say support is going to be back down towards around 197. So if this stock opens, fades off, sells off, pulls back, and we see it down towards around like 197 to $2, and we get a good setup like we had on Monday, I'd be interested in GSAT again. Again, it's not going to rip $1 at a time, 50 cents at a time, 25 cents at a time, maybe 5 to 10 cents, right? But it's a slow, steady mover. It's a large float stock. It is almost 800 million in float, but we have the news. The stock proved itself on Monday. It can move, it can set up, and it did work out really, really well. The technicals were solid. So again, I think GSAT is a great candidate today for the small account. All right, team. So again, that's kind of what we have going on. Again, there was a lot to talk about. Nothing I can get done in 30 minutes. It took me about 50 minutes to review every single swing trade, every single back burner prior day, and then looking at what we have going on for today, right? Fresh stuff. And again, the number one stock that I'm personally watching is going to be PSTV. And then again, that back burner sleeper play, possibly IPHA, just to see if it does anything like FCUV yesterday. All right, team. So that's what I have. So right now it is 8:50. Well, what are you guys talking about over on the tube? Yo, Gary, Kelly, Gonzo, Charlie, Lewis. Good morning. There was a lot covered, guys. There was a lot covered. A lot of stuff to get you guys mindful of. A lot of stuff to get you guys prepared. Maybe some of these stocks, you're like, I wasn't even looking at LADS. But now I am, because I like it. I like the analysis. I like the potential that it has. So again, I wanted to take some time to get everybody up to speed, to get everybody prepared. So if these opportunities start presenting themselves, you already know exactly what we're looking at. You don't need me, right? You don't need me to take the trade. You guys know how to build plans. You guys know how to manage your risk. We stress that day in, day out, right? So again, now you know the plays. Now you know what we're looking for, the opportunity that's in the market today, swing trades, all that good stuff. And we're all set, ready to rock and roll. Yo, Cody. Good morning. And then options for the day. All right, real quick before we start the intro. Options for the day. I got a couple back burners, but nothing that I'm like too excited about. You know, I'm going to watch mRNA today back above $400. I do like COIN today above that 166, right? We closed below that level, but we are gapping up. So I want to see what COIN does today. Is it going to gap up, pull back to the 266.50, and then rip? Or is it going to gap up and rip? Is it going to gap up, pull back, and retest and just level, right? I am just watching coin. Depending on what Coinbase does today, that may set us up for a possible swing trade tomorrow going a few weeks out, back up towards around like the 290s there on COIN. So again, I am watching COIN. I am watching PayPal today to see if that one has any juice left in it. DraftKings today. I do want to keep this one on the back burner as well and just kind of watch this one above like $60.42. That 60.40, 60.50 was a pretty key level that we got above yesterday, but we lost it. We are slightly gapping up just a little bit here. So looking to see if DraftKings holds above that 60.40 level. I think this one still has some good potential up towards around 62.31. It's about $2 to the upside there on DKNG. And then AMD, right? Watching AMD still. So again, we had that inverse head and shoulders break that you guys absolutely crushed it on. Getting a multi-day pullback, retesting the neckline as new support. That's healthy. It looks good. It's still in an uptrend overall. Pullbacks are normal. Pullbacks are healthy. I like it. I'm personally watching AMD above 109.75. Off that prior level of resistance, and this is where the stock broke on out. Right? So again, that's where the stock really started breaking on out. I might actually maybe bring it just a little bit lower. Now that I look at it, I might bring it down just a little bit lower, 109.25. So again, as long as we're above like 109.25, I think we could start to see that transition from, you know, pulling back to next leg up, right? Once we break 111.50, that's where I think a lot of volume moves in. 111.50 is key. We tried getting it last Friday. Couldn't do it. Gapped up, spiked on Monday, lost it. Tuesday, tried to get back above it right out of the gate. We couldn't. Yesterday, right out of the gate, we tried to get above it. We couldn't. So again, right now we are back at support. So above 102.50, I like AMD. I think AMD has so much potential to break 111.50 to run back up to Monday's highs at 114.49. So you're talking 4 points to the upside. And right now you could literally risk $1, right? Risk underneath 109. You're risking maybe like $1.50. You got $4 to the upside. That's a good risk reward. I like AMD. AMD is probably one of the top option plays that I'm watching. Again, right now, it's a little bit of a sleeper. It's not doing too much, but I think it has so much potential, and I think this stock could really start taking on off. So I'm watching AMD as one of my top option plays for the day. My goodness, an hour strong, and we only just getting started. We have from 9 to 12, another 3 hours. Oh, my goodness. I'm fired up, though, team. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make it happen today, and I'm ready to have another amazing day for September. So let's make it happen. Let's have a good day. Let's go ahead and roll the intro. And we already said it, but we're going to say it again. Good morning, traders! What is going on? Once again, good morning and happy Thursday, baby. Let's go. Day number 2 of September. Day number 24. 24? Day number 24 of the small account challenge. Guys and girls, let's get fired up. I know you guys are already fired up. We spent the last hour reviewing all of these amazing setups, and now it's time to answer your questions. So look at that. Josh jumping on the mic at 8. Going through everything bright and early, leaving a solid 30 minutes for a Q&A, reviewing your stocks, reviewing your tickers, making sure that I have you guys taken care of. Look at that. Does Josh need to start going live at 8 o'clock every morning? Oh my gosh, if I started doing that, I'd probably be dead by 11 o'clock. So, once again, team, good morning. Happy Thursday. It is September 2nd, 8:56 in the market, and it's going to be an amazing day, traders. Hit me with a good morning inside the chat, and hit me with a good morning over on YouTube. What's up, Cornelius? Cody shot you a message on TikTok. I will be more than happy to respond to that and look at that here in a little bit. Cody, Eric, some of us are new to the channel. Good morning. Welcome to the channel, Eric. Everybody will tell you, this is the best channel to be on. This is the best live stream. Go ahead and tell them real quick. Those of you that have been here for months, does this stream suck? Or is this one of the best streams out there for you guys? Let's go. Tracy's going to say, oh yeah. Gonzo, of course. Lewis, uh-huh. Ha-ha. There we go. Ed, hell yeah. There's no other stream to go to from Tracy. Jason, welcome to the stream. Good morning, Denise. What's up? Yo, Wade, Daniel, Angel, Skylar, Joel, Heroic, Cole, K-Glow. Oh, Chris. Oh my gosh. Everybody in chat here the day, ready to freaking go. Let's do it. I'm fired up, guys. I'm fired up. It's going to be an awesome day. Gonna be an awesome day. Hell yeah. Jason, loving the energy. Todd, good morning. Gonzo, I appreciate the kind words, boss. I appreciate it. I try my best, guys. I try my best. Just sharing everything that I know from my 7 years of trading. Really sharing everything that I wish I would have known as a new trader, trying to guide you guys in the right direction towards success a lot faster than me, so you don't have to lose a lot of money the first 3 years of your trading career. So I love that you guys like the value. I love that you guys getting that education and you're seeing success. It's absolutely amazing. And check this out. Check this out. Holy crap, Tyler. Tyler said he made $10,000 in August. You tell me, LOL is what he said. You tell me. Yeah, it's the best. Oh yeah, let's go. Who was it yesterday? Who was it yesterday that locked in $5,000 on BBIG? I said, you know what? You shut down. You walk away. You don't come back to chat. You don't come back. It was Angel. Angel in chat. Been in chat for a couple days. $5,000 of profit. And I told him to walk the F away, go enjoy his day. And guess what? He didn't come back. He's like, you know what? I'm taking my 5Gs. I'm out of here. So Angel, what'd you do today? What was your mindset coming into today based on what we talked about yesterday? He's like, I ran. I ran. What is your mindset today, Angel, coming into the market after having a really nice day yesterday? I'm testing you right now. He's ready to go, but what is that mindset coming off a green day? Yeah, you're ready to go. I love it. I love it. But one thing that I think helps, and it helps me, and I want to share this with you guys, is if I have a really big green day, right? As a newer trader, when I'd have a big green day, guys, I would look at it like I have a buffer. I'm up $3,000. Well, I got a $3,000 buffer. I can take more size. I can risk $2-3 grand, right? Don't do that. Don't think that you have a buffer. You have 100 grand in your account and you got 105 and you're like, well, technically speaking, I'm $5,000 up, right? I could risk $5,000. No. What I like to do is act like I'm reset. I'm zero. If I have a big good day, 5K, right? I act like I didn't make 5K. I know I made 5K, but I act like I didn't make 5K yesterday. I broke even. I still have 100 grand in my account. I'm fresh. I'm starting from scratch. So I don't really have any kind of big buffer. That means I really got to be smart about the right size and not losing more than $200, $300, $400 on a trade, whatever your loss is. You don't have that $5,000 buffer. You have a fresh new slate today on your account. And again, you got to treat it that way so you don't dig in to those profits with losses. So again, capital preservation, having the right mindset, coming off a good green day as you know what? That was yesterday. It's in the past. It was awesome. It was amazing. Let's keep doing what I do best. Being smart, being professional, building the best plans, being disciplined, being patient, clean slate. Let's go. It's a brand new day full of brand new opportunities. So let's make it happen. Let's go. Woo! My goodness, dopamine levels are raging. Yeah, I mean, clearly. Look at me right now. It's fucking 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm over here screaming. Ah! And I'm still like only halfway through my Celsius. You already know it's not the energy drink, guys. I'm just fucking fired up. I love it. I love it. Eric said, might as well take 2 days off. Yeah, might as well take 2 days off of those profits. Actually, you can take a whole week off. I'll see you tomorrow, Angel. I'll see you next week. All right, so let's go do a Q&A, guys. We got 30 minutes. Q&A session. For those of you on TikTok, join us over on YouTube. It's Alpha Day Trading, all right? And this is where I got the chat box. Everybody inside of chat, making sure that you guys have my undivided attention. I'm good at managing 2. But doing 3, it screws me up. Looking down, left, right. So again, come on over to YouTube, Alpha Day Trading. If you guys have any questions, now's a good time to go ahead and get those answered. IPHA thoughts. So yeah, IPHA, I'm thinking it's going to be like a back burner sleeper play. I would kind of maybe put this in the classification as what we saw with FCUV yesterday. Right, FCUV yesterday, we had a quick pop in pre-market. It dropped, didn't do anything whatsoever, and then it just absolutely ripped to the upside when the market opened, right? So it popped. It didn't do shit. I was like, I'm not even watching FCUV. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything, and then boom, it rips and runs. So you go look at IPHA, kind of the same thing, right? It popped all the way to 12, doing absolutely nothing. But again, I want to keep the stock on watch as a back burner sleeper play to see if this one opens up and just starts to get some action and momentum. If so, I want to get in early just in case it starts squeezing and ripping to the upside. So yeah, IPHA right now, there's no reason to touch it. It's just worth watching as a back burner. If this stock breaks back above 6, we have some activity, we have some action. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think IPHA is worth watching today. And I'd really like to see this above 5. Actually, let's call it 480. That was our first little low, right? I'd like to see it, holding above that 480 level, and let's see what it looks like out of the gate. TME. TME, anybody in chat have anything that you guys want me to look at? TME, this stock breaking over these pre-market highs, we could actually get a lot of action. $10 and then possibly even up towards around 11 bucks. So yeah, TME doesn't look bad at all, right? I like the fact that we were beaten down, oversold, gaining some buying momentum. We see some nice volume moving in. This stock is actually above the 20 EMA now, which is really nice, right? Which is really nice. That 20 EMA was holding this down as resistance for a little bit. So with that being said, on TME, if it does open and pull back, I don't want to see it drop any lower than $9.20. Ideally, breaking $9.50. We have so much room to $10 and a lot of room to 11 bucks here on TME. So I do like TME a lot, especially since we're gapping up above the 20 EMA. We could see it gap up, pull back to 920, retest, and then break out. But we do have a little bit of a cup and handle formation, right? We got to push into the highs, big U shape, back into the highs, followed by a higher low, trying to get some action to get that 950 break. So it may not pull back to 920, but if it does, that's a key level to keep this one on watch to see it stay above. But it may open and just break over those highs and rip to 10 and then rip to 11. We do have a decent little cup and handle formation starting to form there over on TME. So yeah, TME is going on the watch list as well, guys. IPHA is on our watch list. Back burner sleeper play, kind of like FCUV. Definitely watching GSAT. That was a Monday winner for us in chat. Has some news again today. We're definitely keeping that one on watch. Absolutely. PSTV. We are watching PSTV, guys. Above $2.20. I posted this one this morning in alerts. I also posted PSTV this morning here inside a chat for you. 220 support, room back to high a day. Then we had room to 260, right? We came back down to 220. We bounced right up to 240, right? It was about a 20-cent profit on PSTV. I didn't get a chance to buy. I had 1,000 shares typed up. I go to buy, and then I had something hit me on the side. It took my attention away, so I just didn't touch it because my attention was distracted there for a second. But it was a good trade, guys. It was a good trade. So we are watching PSTV. Got to break over that 200 SMA, guys. Got to break the 200 SMA if we can. We could see it at 260, 280, and then 296 on PSTV. I like PSTV. We have some good news. PSTV is a low float stock. It's about 11 million in float, trading really good volume as well. And then we have a new one popping up on the leaderboard, guys. OMQS. OMQS. What's up here? No news. Lowest float stock on the leaderboard. Just popped up with about 300,000 shares. Majority of it was selling. I don't think it's worth your time. Don't think it's worth your time. So we had IPHA, the audio, all good. FCUV. So the only reason I'm not a fan of FCUV, well, actually, I'm not. Actually, I retract that. I retract it. Because when we were looking at it, right around 8:30, it was slightly dipping below 20. And below 20, it looked like crap, right? But if this one can stay above 20, I like it. I like it. Yesterday's close was 19.28, and it actually came down and held 19.28. So yesterday's close. So if we look at FCUV, we are putting in some market structure off of yesterday's close. We do have room back to yesterday's highs of 24.48. So let's go ahead and pull that back to 24.48. And then over 24.48, we have so much room to $30, guys. So FCUV, as long as this one's staying above 19.24, we got a lot of potential to retest yesterday's highs of 24.39 and then room to 30. Just keep in mind, this is a very volatile stock. Very volatile stock. It's a potentially high reward, but also comes with high risk, right? This stock was up and down, up and down. It was all over the place yesterday. So again, make sure you're not taking too aggressive size. If you get caught on the wrong side of the trade, you're not going to lose your account. You're not going to blow yourself up. You got to take appropriate size on these really high risk trades. But again, with high risk, every now and then comes with high reward. And this is something that does have a lot of potential to be high reward, but it also is a little bit of a high risk, guys. So again, we are watching FCUV, definitely above that 19.24 level, room back to 24.40, and then room back up towards around $30 there on FCUV. Holding BB swings. BB swings. Holding BB. So we had our squeeze formation. It sucks, because I was actually swinging BB. And BB's hitting targets left and right. BB hit target yesterday at 12. Which kind of sucks, because I was in this one down in the low 10s. So if anybody else still held those BB swings, I mean, good for you guys. I just stopped out right when it dipped below the 200 SMA, and then just to watch it regain it and rip to the upside. So $12 was one of your first targets. We also do have that big downtrend as a target as well. So if this one does break over 12, I think it still has room towards around like $13.50 to $14. Testing this big downtrend, Ed, right? So you have that big downtrend. And if this one were to pop straight up today, it would put you right at the downtrend around $14. But again, if it takes some time, right? If it takes a little bit of time, right? You could see maybe like $13.20, $13.50. I would just be looking to take profit if we see it up towards that daily downtrend, right? But I'm thinking, like $13.50 to $14, depending on if it starts moving and how hard and how fast it starts moving. But again, if you were buying this one with us a few weeks ago, down towards around the low 10s, I mean, it is up right now $2 a share. I think you lock in a little bit of profits, but again, this one breaking over yesterday's highs of $12, I do think we have some nice room to $13.50, and we still have some room to $14 on BB. Absolutely, Ed, 100%. Why is SPRT up in pre-market? Well, SPRT is a stock that still, crazy enough, has some attention towards it, right? This stock was our short squeeze play from $10 to $60. Traders are still here looking at SPRT, looking to see if it's going to make its next leg up. Me, personally, I was talking about this Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not going to touch SPRT unless I see it forming support at $20. Why $20, Josh? That was the high from August 26th, right? That's where we closed. Big gap up. It's a gap fill, right? It's a gap fill like CRM. Stock gaps up, pulls back to fill the gap, bounces, right? MSFT. Stock gaps up, pulls back, fills the gap, and bounces. SPRT. Gaps up, pulling back. If it fills the gap at 20, I'm looking to be a buyer, maybe risk a buck, looking for that multi-day bounce on SPRT. So again, I will not touch SPRT as far as like maybe like a swing trade, multi-day swing trade until we're at 20. $20 seems like the best level to me. Now, could it hold 25 and rip to 30 and set up intraday and we got to say, absolutely it could, right? But right now, I would really, really, really like to see this down at $20. I'd like to see it fill the gap beautifully and then get that nice $5, $10 bounce with risking maybe like $1 or $2 on SPRT. So SPRT is on our back burner watch list, right? TKAT, it's on our main watch list today. We've already talked about that, but it's also on a back burner watch list. We still have RGC on our back burner watch list. We got SGOC, NURO, right? Some of these stocks that have been moving over the past couple of weeks, we still have them on watch, right? We're not just taking them off the watch list and they're like, oh crap, I wish I would have kept it on the watch list to keep it on watch to see if it started moving again, right? Again, we're keeping a lot of these stocks on watch because there's still some action behind them and we could still see them move to the upside. So yeah, SPRT right now just has some attention still, but I still like it down towards around $20. Josh, is there a place to go look at stocks you've already talked about so you aren't repeating yourself? The only thing that you can do is maybe like rewind the live stream, like unselect live and maybe try to like draw back and like go back in time, right? So you can actually rewind the live stream and go back to the point where we were talking about PSTV. So you just grab your the little tool and when you ever see PSTV up on the chart, at least that would be the conversation. Or that may be too much. It may take too much time. I'm more than happy if we have time, and we do. We have 20 minutes to do PSTV again. So if you want to try and rewind and get back to the place when we were talking about PSTV, feel free. If not, I'll be more than happy to go ahead and dive back into that. Eric, wasn't that spike the second big spike in SPRT? Think that it is done. So again, yeah, I mean, this stock's already moved a lot. It's already moved a lot. I don't think it's going to bounce and rip back to 60 if it bounces off that gap fill at 20. I'm thinking maybe like $5 to $10, right? Maybe like $5 to $10 bounce, and then we see it continue to fade. I think SPRT's done, but there are still traders looking at this. There's still traders here, and gaps love to be filled. And when gaps are filled, you typically see bounces. We saw that with CRM. We've seen it with Microsoft. We've seen it with so many other stocks. So I don't think it's going to bounce 20 and rip back to 60. Absolutely not. It looks dumb to me. But I do still think we have some opportunity for an upcoming day trade on a gap fill bounce on SPRT. Like Tyler said, a lemon only has so much juice. 100%. A stock only has so much to the upside before traders just lose their interest on the stock. And we can see traders have really lost their interest. But I look at trading psychology, right? I'm a trader. I know gaps like to be filled. And I know that, it could definitely bounce $5 to $10. And I know that if it cracks below 20, that it would probably continue to fade. So I have 80-20 odds that SPRT could continue to pull back to 20 and fill the gap and bounce for a quick little scalp, maybe a quick little intraday day trade, $2, $3, $4, $5, maybe $10, right? So again, I'm thinking psychology. Are other professional traders thinking the same thing? Well, yeah, I'm a professional trader. I still have SPRT on my watch list. I know gaps like to be filled. I know what happens when a stock comes down to fill a gap. We typically see it bounce, right? CRM. Why did it fill the gap and bounce? Because gaps like to be filled, and when they fill, they bounce. Microsoft. Why did Microsoft gap up, pull back, and bounce again? It filled the gap. Gaps like to bounce. SPRT. Same thing, guys, right? A lemon only has so much juice. A stock only has so much interest. A stock is not going to go up forever. Eventually, it will lose interest. But there's still some technicals behind it that support a possible upcoming trade to where we can make some easy cash. So I'm still watching SPRT for those reasons. And yeah, I'm not saying it's definitive. It's not a definitive. It's not saying it's going to happen. But if we see this open and it starts cracking and crashing and it goes to the 20, I would expect to see a bounce on the trade. I would expect to see a bounce. And that's something that I'm willing to risk a couple bucks on to see if it bounces, right? To get $5 out of it, knowing SPRT could bounce $5, $10 easily, and risk maybe like $1 to $2, right? The risk reward makes sense. I know gaps love to be filled. I know they bounce 80% of the time. So to me, that's an 80-20 setup. To me, I like the low risk, high reward aspect, and I still think there's other traders maybe thinking the same thing, and there's still traders looking at SPRT. And as you guys can see, I am 0 trades on the day. 0 trades on the day, guys. Nothing yet that I like. Still sitting back and waiting for the best of the best opportunity here. Yes, I did go over OMQS, right? So we looked at OMQS, right? And honestly, it is a low float stock. Trade Idea says it's 5 million on OMQS. But the thing is, guys, I'm not a fan, number one, that there's no news, right? There's no reason for that stock to be up, right? Number two, I'm not a fan of, what was it? There was something else that I was like, I'm not a fan of this. I can't remember now. But I just don't like the fact that it doesn't have news, guys. I'm a big advocate of finding stocks that have news. Credible reasons to be moving on up, right? Why is OQMS even gapping up 25%? Why is it gapping up, right? Why is it gapping up? It's not even trading like super duper awesome volume, right? It's only trading 400,000 shares. And don't get me wrong, the average volume on OQMS is 10,000. It is trading high relative volume. But if you look at the volume, right? What's most of this volume right now? Just look at the chart. Look at the volume bars. So out of that 400,000 shares, how much of it's selling and how much of it's buying? You can see right there on the chart. You can see that 70 to 80% of the volume on OQMS is selling volume versus buying volume. So that's what it was, right? There's no news. And a lot of the volume that we see is more selling than buying. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of it. But it is a low float stock. It could rip and run. We can keep it on watch. I just think there's better opportunity in the market. Hey, sweetie. You leaving? Are you a doctor? Dr. Briley! Is it play day? Is it dress up day at daycare? Nope. What day is it?
This week.
That's what?
This week.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Oh, mwah. Mwah. Can I have a hug from you? Thanks. Can I have a kiss? No, from you. I love you. Okay, Coco Melon. Have a good day, guys, okay? Thank you. You're welcome. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I say I love you.
It's fine. I love you. Okay, I love you too. Love you.
Love you.
So that's it, guys. Like, I'm not sitting here like saying it's not going to do anything. Not saying like you shouldn't watch it. I think we should watch it, but there's a couple things that just stand out to me. That's it. A couple things that stand out to me, right? No news. It is trading high relative volume, but compare the volume against IPHA. Compare the volume against PSTV. Compare it against TLSA, right? You got 4 million shares, 10 million shares, 4 million shares. GSAT has, 11 million shares. Those stocks have the attention in the market, right? Those stocks right there are the ones that have, high relative volume and some of the highest volume on our upgapper, right? This one doesn't really compete with anything. It's still trading light volume compared to some of the other stocks that have volume, right? Now, don't get me wrong, it's high relative volume for the stock. It is a low float stock. It could rip, but looking at the volume, it just seems like a lot of the volume out of that 400, maybe like 70 to 80% of it was all selling. But again, we can keep it on watch, guys. I'm not saying don't keep it on watch. I'm not saying, hey, it's a bad stock. I'm just saying I'm not a fan, right? I'm not a fan. I think there's better opportunity in the market, right? More credible opportunity in the market, but we'll keep it on watch above 13. So we will keep it on watch above 13 bucks. $13 is that old high on the daily chart, right around 13. We just came down and bounced. Over 1450, sky's the limit, right? Because that's the all-time high on this stock was 1450. It could definitely go all the way to pre-market highs and back to 20. So let's keep it on watch, guys. Let's keep it on watch. And we'll see if anything comes about with OMQS. But I would think that would be a very, very, like high risk, high reward trade, right? Kind of like FCUV yesterday, right? This stock was just all over the place. Not a real credible reason for the stock to be moving. Just all over the place, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Very risky, but a lot of opportunity behind it. You just got to really make sure you're taking the right size to where if you do unfortunately get on the wrong side of the trade, that you're not losing a crap ton of money, right? You just got to be smart with it. So we are still watching FCUV. We will go ahead and watch OMQS, but we look at stocks like PSTV. There's news, right? There's a credible reason for this stock to be moving on up. It has substantial pre-market volume. We go look at GSAT, right? It has another press release. It was also a former runner with substantial volume here in pre-market, right? So again, I look at these stocks, credible reason, credible reason, credible reason, right? I have a lot of plays that have, credible reasons. Looking at, again, OQMS or OMQS, it just doesn't have a credible reason, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't watch it. OQMS. It's, my dyslexia is off today. Jeez, Josh, QS. Adam, no, I'm not. I am not a fan of Tesla. You guys ask me to analyze Tesla. I always say go find someone else. I don't look at Tesla. Tesla, to this day, is on my shit list. Tesla is on my shit list, my do not trade list. I've lost 80% of the time on Tesla. Tesla and me just don't mix well. So why continue to beat a dead horse when I just know statistically Tesla and me don't mix well? So with that being said, I don't trade it, right? There's thousands of other stocks moving, thousands of other stocks that have setups. Why am I going to go focus on a stock that I've lost money on before, right? Like, I just don't trade it. It's on my shit list. Everybody has that one stock they just can't seem to get right. And Tesla's that one stock that just doesn't work well with me. We need a room for our sayings. Yeah, we'll do a slogan room. It'll be next to crypto. It'll say slogans. Everybody's like, slogans? And they're like, the boom, boom, bang. Pigs get slaughtered. The best three traders. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Tyler asking about APDN. So the stock jumps on new COVID-19 testing contract. Absolutely no attention towards this stock whatsoever. Popped all the way to 770, all the way back down to 610, almost to yesterday's close. That's where I would watch this stock. If you like APDN and you think it has potential, it does have news, right? APDN secures COVID-19 testing contract with Suffolk County Community College. Shares rise. Now, is that an awesome press release? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate that press release? They secured a COVID-19 testing contract with a community college. That's the press release. Securing a testing contract for COVID for a community college. How would you rate that press release on a 1 to 10? Tyler says 4. I like it. I was thinking 4 to 5, right? Now, if you see this company is announcing primary endpoints, they were positive phase 3 trials. How would you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10? The company's announcing positive phase 3 trials and they're meeting their primary endpoints as well. How would you rate that one on a scale of 1 to 10, guys? Yep, we're watching BBIG. Again, I like BBIG down towards around 8. Again, yeah, an 8, a 10, right? A company coming out saying, hey, right? We just, we got positive results from our phase 3 trials, right? And we're meeting our primary endpoints. Traders love that. That's a hot press release, guys. That's a very good, solid PR, right? Getting FDA approval. What are the other hot keywords to look for in press releases? If you guys don't have this, go ahead and take a screenshot, right? These are hot keywords to look for in press releases, right? We classify them as 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and 4-star, right? Meeting primary endpoints is a solid press release. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, they're good. Definitive agreements, acquisitions, mergers, FDA approval, fast track designation, 3-star keyword, cancer related news, 4-star keywords, partnerships are pretty good. Carl Icahn, you ever see Carl Icahn in a press release? The stock's going to do good. They were awarded, right? That's okay. They received a grant, getting a large sum of money from investors, right? Achieving, launches a new product, new service, right? So there's a lot of hot keywords to look for in press releases, but the best ones, meeting primary endpoints, FDA approval, fast track designation, right? Definitive agreements, cancer related news, Carl Icahn, partnerships, right? Take a screenshot of that, guys, right? So next time you're skimming through a press release and you're wondering why the stock is ripping and you see they met primary endpoints, you already know why. Because that's a keyword that gets traders excited, all right? It's a keyword that gets traders absolutely excited. Yeah, exactly, Eric. Testing a small community college doesn't seem like that. It's a big deal. So absolutely, right? Everybody was saying like 4, 3, 1, right? It's not a great press release. It's not a hot press release, right? It's nothing like super freaking crazy. So again, traders, again, day traders, 80% of them, guys, they come in and they find a credible reason. Look at any professional trader out there. I'm going to start saying some names, right? You may not like these people, but they're damn good traders. Tim Sykes, right? A lot of people don't like him. He's a good trader. Ross Cameron, right? Ross, he's a damn good trader. Sean Deckmar, good trader. If you've ever watched any of their videos, what do they all have in common? What do we all have in common? When we come into the market, why is the stock moving? What's the catalyst, right? Professional day traders, we come in looking for catalysts. Why is the stock moving? I don't want to trade a stock that has no credible reason to be moving because it could dump, right? It could be just a pump and dump, guys, right? I want to find stocks that have solid press releases, solid credible reasons to be moving, right? That is one of my rules. That's a piece of criteria to add to a watch list, right? As far as a stock that I'm really watching out of the gate, I really want the stock to have a credible reason to be moving. Whether that's a press release, whether that's prior day momentum, a prior day mover, that's a reason, right? A daily technical setup, those are reasons, those are catalysts, right? We got to think of a catalyst as a reason for the stock to be moving. It could be a daily setup. It could be prior day momentum. It could be a fresh press release, a hot press release, right? The last thing that I want to do is come into the market and just find low float stocks that don't really have reasons to be moving on up, right? And then miss out on like PSTV. That's why PSTV was the #1 gainer, because it had better news, and that's what professionals do. They look for good press releases. But I was too busy looking at OMQS because it was just a low float stock, or looking at SCPS and not really looking at maybe GSAT, right? So again, I've been there. I've done that. I came in and I'm like low float, low float, low float, low float. And then we see a PSTV rip and run. I'm like, why is this one ripping and running? It's not the lowest float stock, right? It's not the low it was. Oh, okay. They have news. They have news. Okay. And I just learned this over time. All right, I just learned it over time. So all professional traders have one thing in common. They come into the market as day traders that trade like small cap penny stocks. We all have one thing in common. We're looking for a catalyst, guys. We're looking for a press release. News, low floats, high relative volume, float rotation, 100%, guys, right? It's all about news, high relative volume, taking that float into consideration, diving into those technicals, getting prepared, getting ready. That's what we got to do each and every day. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be stocks that rip and run with no news. There are going to be stocks that rip and run and scream to the upside with absolutely no news. But as long as the technicals are sound, we can definitely watch them and trade them. But coming out of the gate, 9:30, ding, 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 ding. I'm primarily focused first with those top stocks that have the best press releases, the best volume, the lowest floats, the best technicals, and that's where my focus is. Now, again, we are watching OMQS, right? We are watching some of these other stocks, FCUV, right? IPHA. We are watching them. But out of the gate, my focus is on the top two stocks that have news, that have volume, that can move. And those top two stocks that I think we should watch right out of the gate is going to be PSTV and GSAT, guys. But again, we are going to scan, right? We're going to kind of look and see where the action's going. We're going to look and see where the volume's going. Look and see where traders are at. And that's when we're ready to attack. So let's get fired up, team. Let's get ready to go. We have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Markets open, baby. Let's get fired up. Let's have an awesome day. Let's make great trades and watch that money flow on in. Let's go, Chris. Let's make it happen, guys. Let's have an awesome day. All right, got to get into a 1 minute. So again, some of these back burners like SGOC, again, just kind of keeping these on watch. Again, TKAT, above like $11.80. Really wanting to see that one stay above that 200 SMA. SLI was another little back burner play that I wanted to keep on watch. And we do have FCUV, guys. Remember FCUV? It does have room to 24.39. Anything over that level, 24.39, it has room to 30. And this one's getting the most amount of action right out of the gate, guys, is FCUV. Is ELYS. Again, ELYS was the possible mid-candle, so it's just something to keep on watch to see if it starts grinding to the upside. ELYS has some good potential. BBIG, again, I still like BBIG, but I really wanted it like 8. Now, it may not come to 8. We can still wait for it to possibly set up somewhere above 8, but if it's down around 8 setting up, let's go. Again, GSAT is a large float stock. Definitely takes some time to get that going. Definitely takes a lot of time to get going. Nothing right now that's standing out to me. Nothing right now standing out. The only thing that I'm looking at is that back burner sleeper play off a possible continuation today being ELYS. Just watching ELYS above yesterday's close, which is right there at 593. This one ever starts to break 6. I think we have some room to like 620, 630, 660. I think this one has some good opportunity to the upside on ELYS. So again, it's just something I'm watching. I'm not touching anything yet, just watching. I'm going to put ELYS off to the side just to see if this one ever does do anything for us. Again, it's just a little bit of a back burner sleeper play. Watch PSTV here above 220, team. Watch PSTV here above 220. 219 at the lowest. So like 219, 220. Let's see if this one can actually hold on up here. Right now it's looking a little weak, but we'll come back to it and see. Again, right now the only one that's getting some nice action to the upside is FCUV. BBIG is just a little messy right now. So still nothing right now at this point in time that's really standing out to me. Scream and trade me. Now again, AMD above 109.24 today. I think AMD has some good potential above 109.24, so that's worth keeping on watch, team. DraftKings is worth keeping on watch as well. Above that 60... Oh, my TD's screwing up. Above that 60-40. Remember 60-40 was key when we were talking about this morning? We didn't lose 60-40, and we're starting to break on out here a little bit. This one has room to 62-31 on DraftKings. And then I do want to keep mRNA on watch over 400 today as well, team. So right now, if I find a setup and I like it, we're going to walk you guys through the setup step by step by step. What the setup is, the type of criteria that needs to be met, how to build a trade plan around that setup, right? Not just saying, buy here, right? I'm in, but explaining and educating you guys on the setup, why it's a good setup, why we're looking at it, why we're trading it. Again, just to make sure. There goes ELYS, son of a gun. There's ELYS, guys. And I even had my order typed up, ready to go. I can't chase it. Damn it. And there's ELYS. That's what we were looking for, guys. Again, ATER was something that we talked about. It's on our swing trade watch list. Waiting for the stock to continue to consolidate between the 50 and the 20 moving average. Right now, intraday, there's nothing worth watching here on ATER. It's more of a higher time frame setup for a possible upcoming swing trade there on ATER. The only thing that really got a pop that we were looking at from our alert section today was ELYS. That one popped about 30-ish cents there. Nothing too crazy, but it did have a nice little pop. And looking across the board, guys, I mean, where's the opportunity right now? Do you guys see it? I'm not seeing it. I'm not really seeing too much at this point in time. You know, maybe bringing some support up on GSAT into yesterday's pre-market highs, right around like 204. Right now, this one's just, it's a very large float stock. This one, we got to wait and give it some time to properly set on up. Yeah, and we don't have anything on PSTV right now. Again, we're only 6 minutes into the day. SGOC. Is that on my swing trade watch list? It is. Yeah, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that off the intraday and get it on my swing. SGOC. It's still worth watching, but not right now today, in my opinion. I think TKAT is worth watching. I think TKAT is worth watching over yesterday's highs. Over 1309, I think TKAT has a lot of great opportunity. Up towards around $14.50. So I do think TKAT is worth watching. So TKAT, I'm going to put that off to the side and just keep observing that one. The SPRT is getting a little bit. Again, I don't want to really get involved until I see it fill in that gap. I think that's a little bit of a better trade. More conviction. You know, more odds. Higher probabilities. Let's go, BBIG. Come on down to 8. Come on down to 8. You come on down to 8. Give us a nice little bottom. Consolidate a little bit. Have a nice little end of day, afternoon rep and run, kind of like what we saw on Tuesday. Maybe get a nice little swing trade activity here on BBIG. So we'll keep that one on high watch. Right now, guys, there's really nothing really popping on off. SCPS. Oh, they dropped a press release right at like 9:16. 9:16. They launched a Duet Therapeutics. So SCPS, one of the lowest float stocks on the leaderboard. It's a 1 million in float. Starting to get a little bit of activity. And yeah, we do have news on it. So there is a credible reason for the stock to be moving on up. Now it's just trying to identify, how high could it go? So right now, looking at the daily chart, we had that resistance right around 619. We're above it, so that's new support. Then $7.18, $7.55, $8.07, $9. So we could definitely see it to 9. Right now we have like 619 support here. So if it doesn't hold the halt level and it does come down but stays above like 619, that's not terrible. Maybe even just a smidge lower, maybe like a right around like $6. I would say anywhere from like 6 to 619 would be good support if it does not hold that the gap level, or I'm sorry, the halt level if it does gap up. WISH was another stock on our list, but right now it's not doing anything. TLSA was a mover in the past, but TLSA, it has a history of giving a lot back. TLSA has a history of popping and then dropping. It likes to pop, lock, and drop it. Rob, can I schedule a one-on-one with you and only talk about Tesla? Oh my gosh, that would be the worst 45 minutes ever. I can't even help you on this, man. I can't help you. If you schedule a one-on-one, we talk about Tesla, we can talk about it. I'll just talk about how bad I trade it. Kelly, when looking at the RSI, is it better to look at the day, week, months? Listen, RSI is validated on every time frame. The RSI can be used on every single time frame, from a 1 minute to a monthly chart to a yearly chart, doesn't matter. The RSI is a very powerful indicator, and I like to use it across every time frame, really to spot divergences, right? Spot divergences with swing trades, looking at buying momentum, selling momentum. Again, divergences, I really, really like using the RSI across every single time frame. Yo, Catherine, good morning. So one thing that we do have is GSAT with a possible downtrend break coming on up. We do have support right around that 203 to 204. Downtrend from pre-market. This one breaking the downtrend. It has room back up into like the 217s, the 220s, and then over those pre-market highs of 222, it would have room to like $2.39, which was Monday's resistance. Yeah, same thing, Chris. I don't really like anything yet, but again, we're only 11 minutes into the market, right? Some of the best opportunity comes 10, 10:30. Sometimes it's 11 o'clock, guys. I tell you, there's some days I don't trade. There's some days I don't see a trade until 11 o'clock, right? I'm not here to just trade. I'm not here to just jump in shit because it's moving. I'm here to find the best opportunity with high probabilities of being right, to execute, to make money, to call it a day. That's it. And right now, I don't see anything that I really want to jump in on, right? I think if I jump on in something right now, I'm just jumping in to jump in. There's not really any big, nice setups that are credible enough for me to get involved with. The only thing that I see is GSAT with a break of the downtrend. And then what was the other one that I just saw? Yeah, it's GSAT with a break of the downtrend. SPRT could fill this little gap. So right now, SPRT came up to yesterday's highs and got rejected at 29. I mean, if SPRT breaks 29, it has room to fill the gap to 31.30. So, I mean, you're looking at maybe $2 of reward to the upside. But, you know, where's support? I mean, support right now, jeez. Back down at like 24 bucks. Let me put it on a 5-minute real quick. Yeah, support on that back down at like 25.44. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it could break 29 and run to 31, but support's all the way back down at like 25.44, which right now, it makes me not even want to consider trading it. Now, don't get me wrong, it could rip, it could run, but right now, I think we got to get just a little bit more time to actually make sure it's going to set up and not just start, you know, dumping on back down. So there's SCPS hitting that 718-ish resistance, actually hit 725. It has room to come back down to the halt level. You can look for maybe like a little scalp opportunity right around like 638, but better supports down towards around 614. GSAT is a slow and steady mover, right? It's a slow, steady mover because it's a large float stock on GSAT. GSAT was my trade from Monday, and it took like 2 hours to work out. Like 2 freaking hours. So it is a good small account, slow and steady play if it gives us a setup. If it confirms, if it sets up. The only thing we're looking at right now is for this to continue to hold above this level of support and break the downtrend, right? We know we have support at 203. We start seeing volume move in through the downtrend. We definitely have some room back up to pre-market resistance right around 218. 222, and then up towards around 239. So it's a very low risk, good reward setup. It's a large float stock, slow and steady. Slow and steady. There's a lot of stuff moving, guys, right? You know, you got BBIG moving a little bit. You had ELYS moving a little bit. You know, FCUV, but really, like, where's the A+ opportunity? That's got to be the mindset. You got to sit here and ask yourself, Josh, I know there's a lot moving, right? There's a lot moving right now, but where's the A+ opportunity? Well, the only thing that has good A+ opportunity is GSAT. Off support, breaking the downtrend with volume, right? So that's the only credible setup right now, was the downtrend break on GSAT, right? You know, TLSA is moving, but it's very choppy, right? SCPS is moving, but it's just kind of sitting sideways after it gapped up out of the halt. So right now, the only like 80-20 A+ setup was GSAT. And right now, look at GSAT. It's starting to get a little bit of a hype. Nice! I didn't do anything different. So after we rolled out version 2, which is our beta, again, I know there was a couple issues on like Monday. We haven't changed anything yet, so I'm glad to hear that it's working well. You're going to get some new updates here into the week. Mobile version is going to be a little bit different. You're going to have a couple different features and options for the mobile version of chat. So, with that being said, we've been rocking and rolling for a while, guys. Since about 8:10, all the way to our cutoff time at 9:47. Usually we run it until about 9:30 to 9:40. All right, so again, ladies and gentlemen, those of you on YouTube, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Right now, the only opportunity that we had on the live stream was GSAT. A couple times this week, we've had a lot of opportunity right out of the gate. Seen some big time profits over on YouTube. But today's just one of those days where we only really had one good setup, and that was GSAT for the break of the downtrend with room to 218. So if anybody got GSAT, congratulations. Again, that was the only thing that I saw that really had great opportunity behind it. And with that being said, be smart, trade safe, lock in some killer, solid, consistent profits today. And I will see each and every one of you back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7 o'clock a.m. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's our end of day for chat. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock here on YouTube, and then right around 8 o'clock over on TikTok, guys. Yeah, I haven't made a trade yet. Nope, I haven't made a trade yet. So I'm still waiting on, just my one setup, right? The one setup that I really, really like. Now, I liked GSAT, but again, I'm not like super focused, right? Like the only reason I didn't trade it is because I'm not like super focused. I still have my mind, the back of my mind, focusing on like other things, behind the scenes stuff that's going on. So again, I personally didn't jump into GSAT. But again, it's still early in the day, guys. It's still early in the day. We have a lot of time ahead of us, a lot of opportunity for setups, a lot of opportunity to make some great profits, guys. So again, we're only getting started. We're only 18 minutes into the day. Tomorrow morning, I'll be posting up my profits over in the newsletter, so you guys will see how our day was and what we were able to do on those small accounts, guys.